wrong with people? Wow, I mean, it's crazy. People are crazy. Yo, oh man. Looting was good. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. We in here, people. We are in here. Spider, what's good? My squad assemble. What's happening? Good morning. Good morning, man. Let's get straight into this video. Welcome to another episode of Riding with Jimmy. Shout out to those of y'all that be asking me to continue the series, even though I don't like the views. Let me cry right now. Let me get it out the way. But we in here. Shout out to Diesel. Jet, I see you. I see you. Vegas, yo, shout out to Vegas, man. My condolences to y'all out there, my people. You know what I mean? I got a few folks out there, not family though, but friends. You know, my condolences, man. That shit sounded real orchestrated, my brother. That sounded real greasy out there, man. Sound like some funny stuff is going on. I mean, every time I hear the story, they add another 100 people to the list of injured. I'm like, yo, that joint went from 300 yesterday to 500. 59 dead, last I checked. And I'm just sitting here like, you telling him to go and I'm waiting on you, you fucking fag? Anyway, though, it's starting to sound a little funny, man. I mean, I don't do conspiracies. You know, I don't talk about them at least. But, man, that sure sounds like something somebody need to be really trying to look into. You know what I mean? Because I was wondering, with that much luggage and that much guns, didn't he look suspicious coming into the hotel? It's just so many red flags on that situation, man. Plus, when people want to do shit like that, they do exactly what he did. They book that room for a couple of days early, bust they lick, and then dip. It's not really crazy that they're not calling him a terrorist, man. It's not really crazy. You know, there's classifications to it before they call it a terrorist attack. Plus, you know, you have to be a foreign attacker to be considered a terrorist in this country, apparently. As far as not foreign by blood, but foreign as in, you know, you came here specifically to attack this country. That's what they consider terrorist attacks, you know. But anyway, let's get into the topic of today, man. If you was a subscriber to my channel for at least 2 years, you probably seen a video like this come up before. But honestly, I'm going to admit, a lot of my day one subscribers told me that they didn't like the direction my channel was going in since I joined the Weapon War podcast with drama and yada, yada, yada. However, the same people that was telling me that wasn't really supporting my videos. So, my bad. Because, you know, back in the day, I had a whole lot of videos that would get 50 views, 100 views, from the same people that's complaining about my content today and telling me that they don't like the direction my channel went in, even though my content got better. So with that being said, let's get into today's video, man. Look, I got a call yesterday from a friend of mine, and he told me, he says, yo, man, I watched one of your videos. I didn't know you did this. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you do that. I don't, you know, like I said, I like to keep certain things to myself. So I don't always go around telling people about what I do and what YouTube channels I have and yada, yada, yada. It's like all organic. If you get to find out, you find out. It's not a big deal to me. But I don't go around advertising what I do, you know. Come on, my brother. I'm going to let you cross. Come on, man. Come on. We got to look out for each other, my man. Look out for your fellow man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. Back on topic. So yeah, but he was telling me, he's like, he didn't know this and he didn't know that, and I'm like, yeah, man, never judge a book by its cover, because apparently a lot of people don't be understanding that, you know, you could come from a certain type of background. It doesn't make you who you are. You know, I don't believe in product of my environment. If my environment is a bad environment, I gotta be a bad person. I don't believe that because I grew up around gangbangers and drug dealers that I had to become a gangbanger or drug dealer. I don't believe that because I was a gangbanger or a drug dealer or whatever dealer, I don't have to, you know, educate myself, culture myself, behave like a normal person in society. Like, a lot of people get a misunderstanding of me. Some of my friends think I'm this really nice guy. Some of my friends think I'm a monster. Either way, the bottom line is just don't judge a book by its cover, man. You know, I'm a normal person just like everybody else. Everybody, in my opinion, should be trying to cultivate themselves, go see shit. You know, I always tell people, travel the country, man, travel the world, go see things. You know what I mean? Like, now, I'm not saying go be a curious cat. You know, there's places you should not be going if you're coming from America, of course. You got to pay attention to where you're going. Or you might end up with your head chopped off for doing 30 years in jail for spitting on the floor. Some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But you should definitely cultivate yourself, man. Go see shit. I've been around, man. If I got into like all the places I've been, I actually would be talking a lot. You know what I mean? I'm an older person, and I spend a lot of time traveling because what had happened for me, and I'll tell y'all the background story real quick. You know, I started getting into a lot of trouble. Started getting arrested a lot. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And right before I met the you know, I was a person that was always going back and forth, traveling, you know, and I dropped out of school, started working because my mom didn't want to take care of me. She didn't want to help me with my school supplies. I was going to a particular art school, and the supplies was expensive, and my mom didn't want to support my gift, so I had to drop out of school and do it myself. So I ended up dropping out of school, even though I got accepted into a gifted school. I went to military school. You know, I got education. I did get my education. I ended up going to college, traveling, going to different schools, getting different certificates, learning different courses. And traveling, I learned a lot, man. I grew up around a lot of different people from different walks of life. You know what I mean? Not just gang shit, street shit. Nerds, computer cats, you know, clothing designers, you know, music industry people. A lot of people that do rap, I went to school with. I went to school with Graf, French Montana, Sticky Fingers went to the same school as me. Fat Joe went to the same school as me. Man, so many rappers went to the same school as me. So I went to school with a lot of cats. You know what I mean? But I never been to London. But I went to a school with a lot of artists, and that's how I became friends with some rappers. Another dude I got introduced to in my career named Schizo. He's a producer. He introduced me to a lot of rappers, and that's kind of what got me started with doing like YouTube, to be honest. You know, I started out on YouTube interviewing rappers, but what made me a little bit more known than other YouTubers was the fact that I was interviewing signed artists. What's good, Mark? So a lot of people who see me don't know that I did that. Like honestly, let me tell y'all something. When I say never judge a book by its cover, right? A lot of people in the gaming community, for some reason, when you tell them your background is from YouTube and you did hip-hop music, they get a little leery. They get concerned about who you are. They think you're here for some kind of agenda. They think you're not a real gamer. The first thing I go through is people think I'm not a real gamer because I say that I travel, you know, I have a life, I got all this shit going on. So people automatically think, oh, he's just doing gaming for YouTube. He's doing it for views. He's doing it for money. Like, let's be real. At the end of the day, I don't do it for those reasons. I do it because it's really a hobby and because I respect my hobby. Like, I know, like, I'm gonna get a little deep with y'all real quick, and hopefully y'all will, you know, hear me out on what I'm about to say. I'll go to work and I'll deal with certain people, and like, I listen to them. They complain a lot. They're always complaining, like, oh, this and all that. And I say to myself, like, damn, these dudes, all they do is complain, right? But what they all have in common is one thing: they don't have hobbies. They don't, you know. And then when you bring up, yo, man, you tried the Xbox? Some of them actually have a console in their house. They don't play games. They go home and they don't do anything. And I'm just listening. I'm like, so you just go home and just watch TV? Yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's boring. So when I listen to them and I hear them out, I'm like, damn, you know, these guys don't have a hobby. They don't have like a legit hands-on activity that they do. You know, some people go on the weekend and they play basketball and all that. That's cool. But you need like a hobby. So what I noticed is people who like hobbies seem to have, like, they don't have a soul. I don't know if you guys understand that. I don't know if that's gonna sound weird to y'all, but they are just empty shells. They're like robots. And, you know, I appreciate the hobby of gaming because it gives me a personality, it gives me character. You know what I mean? And it gives me something to do when I'm just chilling in the house. Because like I said, I do a lot of work on the computer while I'm working and editing and doing some kind of design. You know, I got my game running in the back. Yeah, it's like people are just empty shells, and I be like, damn, yo, y'all need hobbies. And they like make fun of me if they know I play games. Like some of the people I work with, they actually be like, oh, you always buying a TV, you always buying a console, you always buying some kind of electronics. I'm like, my nigga, I'd rather spend my money on electronics than stack all my money and be a lifeless robot. You know what I'm saying? And I be just looking like, yo, I'd rather have my life than yours. You know, I ain't meet nobody I'd rather be. And they always judge a book by its cover. It goes back to what I said in the title of the video. They think that I'm like some weird lame dude because I'll go home and play a game. But what these same people don't understand is I grew up in a neighborhood where if I was outside, I'd be shot in my fucking head by either my friends or the police. And I don't mean to get graphic like that, but I'm just trying to give y'all the real visual of the situation. And then that's like why I respect gaming more too, man. Because like I told y'all on the stream before, YouTube is being gay, my bad. But back to what I was saying. A lot of times my friends will come get me, you gonna do these things to you. So I was like, all right, you know what, I had to do what I had to do. But I was a dude that was into learning. You know, I was into playing with electronics ever since I was a little kid. Like, I was always that kind of kid. I was always a creative kid, eager to learn. So that wasn't really for me. But my mom didn't really understand the magnitude of where she raised me and shit. So she didn't understand raising a kid in a bad neighborhood, you subjugating him to bad shit. Yeah, get down or lay down, exactly. So my mom really didn't understand that. Like, my mom was like, she didn't know when I went outside that people was getting beat up and robbed and shot and all kinds of nonsense. My mom had no clue about this. You know what I'm saying? And it was messed up because I would like kind of try to tell my mom, I'm like, yo, mom, why we don't move and yada, yada, yada. And she wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, it was just a part of my life. So it's like I kind of was living a double life. Like, I was doing this shit outside and I would come home and play my games. And I would get this whole persona of having like two personalities where people wouldn't know that I was in the streets or people thought I was just a gamer. So some of my friends, when they see me doing the YouTube shit, they be like, yo, what the fuck, son? You be doing that? Like, yeah, like, yo, son, you a monster. But then I got some friends who see me and be like, yo, man, you know, you a nerd. And I'm like, you don't know my past. You don't know, like, the shit that went on. Like, I'm going to keep it real with y'all right now. When people was like, oh, I'm going to post pictures of your family. I never posted my family on the internet because I did so much shit when I was growing up in the gangs that I cannot post my family on the internet. You know what I mean? I keep it real with y'all because I don't know if something I did in the past is going to ever come back to me. You know what I mean? And that's fucked up. But that's why I spend so much time trying to do positive shit. Like, a lot of people think that I'm being positive and I'm being phony. And they don't trust that, but they don't realize I'm trying to make up for all the dumb shit I did when I was a kid. A lot of people don't understand. That's why I treat people how I want to be treated. I always try to put my best foot forward and be a good person because there was a time when I was doing shit that I wasn't proud of. You feel me? And I mean a lot of shit. So that's what people don't understand about me, why I say never judge a book by its cover. I'm a genuine person. Like, I'm not being positive just because or trying to be phony or trying to put a persona forward. I'm being positive because I was negative for so long. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that I'm like, they like, what's up with this guy? Why he being so nice? Why he being like that? I'm like, my nigga, I didn't have a choice when I was little. I have a choice now. Now I could be who I want to be. I could be a person eager to learn. I could be a creative person. I don't have to worry about nobody telling me what to do and shit because I'm a grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to talk about that too much, but I got to put it out there because I want people to know if you're in that situation too, man, like, yo, you know, just thug it out, do what you gotta do, and just be true to yourself. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be under pressure. Don't be letting niggas make you do some dumb shit. Because I got a lot of friends, man, they never coming home. They never coming home. They gonna be like 80 when they get home. They got life in jail, shit like that, because they was under pressure to do things. Bobby Schmurder, when he got arrested and everybody got arrested, all this came from his location being on when he was live streaming on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And I told the younger dudes, I'm like, yo, when you growing up like how I grew up, we didn't have that social media shit. But you can't be using that and be out in the streets gangbanging and carrying on and catching bodies and shit like that. But you know how it is when you young. But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the people that's out here doing a lot of this dumb shit, wilding out, carrying on like that, believe it or not, that's because they're under pressure. They feel like they have to. They feel like they gotta do those things. And that's the sad thing, because that's how I was when I was a kid. I didn't want to be in no gangs. Like my family coming to me and be asking me, Dad, how come you know about this? How come you know about that? And I don't want to tell them, because I don't want to tell them about the street shit, and next thing you know, they doing it. You know what I mean? So I try to keep the shit private. I try not to talk about it. It's a moment in my life I'm very much not proud of. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to really talk about it, but then I realize I do need to talk about it a little bit so people can understand my past. Like, don't think for a second, just because I'm nice and I'm carrying on like this, I don't have a past. And don't think for a second I won't revert to it if I have to. But just understand that's not the kind of place I want to be. I don't want to be around negativity. I don't want to be around bad energy because I spent so many years forced to be around it. And that's what people don't understand. Like, when people be like, yo, why Jimmy like that? I don't want to be around negativity. I did that shit when I was younger. You feel me? It didn't get nobody nowhere. My bad. It didn't get us nowhere. Like, all that shit did was get my friends' life in jail, murdered, or people hurt. And it didn't help nobody. So when people keep acting like they don't understand why I'm like that, I'm telling y'all why I'm like that. I'm telling y'all why I'm like that. So when I see niggas acting up, carrying on, being petty, my first instinct is to leave that situation because I don't got time for shit like that. I don't got time for it, man. Because when I was younger, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way my friends was ending up, man. I had one friend. His name is Khalif, God bless the dead. He was killed on a roof in Brooklyn by one of my other friends. And he won a lot of money from a settlement where the police beat him up. And they beat him up real bad. We was going to go hang out, and the police pulled us over. And for some reason, they said he was somebody that did something. They severely beat my friend up. And my family came and got me. His family, you know, had to watch him get beat up. They knocked his eye out his socket. All this is documented. He won a lawsuit for, I think it was $2 million. And, you know, he became a real successful person. He was with Irv Gotti and them. You know what I mean? He was doing his music thing. Me and him occasionally would bump heads, talk, chop it up. You know, some of my best friends was hanging with him. He was a friend I grew up with, childhood friend. He got murdered on a roof in Brooklyn, man. You know what I mean? And I'm like looking at it like, damn, yo, why he didn't take that money and leave? And the way he got killed was so bad. Like, they stripped him naked and killed him. And I don't mean to be graphic, but I'm just showing y'all like some of the nonsense that went on. And y'all gotta understand, knowing stuff like this is happening to people that I know, or has happened to people I know, or I got friends that's never coming home, or they doing life in jail, I can't sit up here and be petty and argue over stupid shit like what achievement somebody got, what trophy somebody got. So I'm in the middle on a lot of things. If it's too petty, I don't want to talk about it. If it's too much drama, I don't want to be involved. Because like I said, I got friends that if they heard some of the dumb shit that was going on YouTube that I was like participating in, they be like, what? Like, when I go to E3, you know how many people want to go with me to E3 because they heard about some dumb shit? I'm like, nah, we not doing that. Like, leave that alone. Like, it's just so much dumb shit that goes on. So that's why I'm in the middle. That's why I'm kind of numb to a lot of shit. Like, I know y'all be looking at me like, yo, why is Jimmy like that? It's because, man, it's petty. Like, it's small shit. Like, look at the thing that happened in Las Vegas. All those people died, but then I was on Twitter the same day and people was arguing over Xbox and PlayStation. I'm like, yo, do y'all know 59 people died, right? Like, 59 people, civilians, was going out to a party and died. Like, I don't mean to be a bummer right now, but I be just wondering, like, do people even care? Like, shit is crazy. So, the bottom line, though, is if you living a good life, man, just be glad, because there's people out there fighting to live the same life you live in, so just be grateful. Don't be a miserable person. Be happy. Be content. You know what I mean? And just try to live your life, man. Because a lot of people be complaining. I'm like, yo, I know like 8 people right now that would love to be in a situation you complaining about. The same shit you unhappy about right now. They would love that. They would trade shoes with you in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So that's why y'all be looking at me like, why Jimmy not talking or saying nothing certain shit. It's petty, man. It's petty, yo. Because it's like, yo, listen. I don't give a fuck about what platform a game is on. I'm gonna buy it. I don't give a fuck about none of that, man. Like, I'm here. I'm just glad to be alive. I'm glad to be able to have a hobby that is gaming. People like to make fun of me for being a gamer. Some of my friends, I don't give a fuck. It's a good hobby that kept me from being killed or in jail. You know what I'm saying? Brandon, shout out to Brandon. I like that logo, by the way. That shit is fire right there. Yeah, he said younger dudes lack perspective. You know, I try not to even put it on an age because, yeah, growing up in a certain time of like back in the day, yeah, you're going to have a different perspective. But I got dudes my age that think like they 20. You know what I mean? Think like they 19. And these are dudes that's my age, man. And it's not really an age thing either. Because I've noticed that there's some dudes that's very mature for their age. I was a mature dude for my age. So it's not really, I wouldn't call it an age thing. It's really all about just keeping it 100, to be honest with you. Yo, he said if you're not getting caught by police cameras, you got some bum recording you. That's so true nowadays too. Yo, that's really true, man. But honestly, I can't lie. You can't be out here living that life no more anyway either, because somebody definitely gonna tell on you. Like, that's gonna always be a fact. You know what I mean? Somebody always gonna be out there ratting and carrying on and doing whatever they do. But like I said, man, I'm just trying to be as legit as I can anyway, because like I said, if I talked about the things I did in the past for money, people wouldn't even believe it. You know what I mean? I would have to like bring people on camera and they'll tell you like, what I could talk about is when I was slinging the Xbox mods and shit like that, and I was getting so much money off that, people was thinking I was selling drugs. They was calling the police on me and all that. I had one of my friends tell me, yo, his father was a police captain. He said, yo, when I left your house, they pulled me over and tore my car. I was like, why? He said they was looking for drugs. I said, what drugs? He's like, they thought you gave me a bag of drugs. So when they opened the bag and saw it with CDs in it, they threw that shit looking for drugs, and I realized that's what I gave him. And I'm like, that's how much you get stereotyped and shit when you try to do something and all that. And they really thought I gave this man drugs. So they told him, yo, if I was you, I wouldn't come back here. They started telling all my customers, don't come back to my house to get anything, even though I wasn't selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, this shit got crazy. That's when I ended up opening a shop. And that's when I started minding consoles in a repair shop. That's one of the reasons. The main other reason, shout out to my nephew too, is when I was doing the mods at a house. I was doing it at a house where my nephew was staying. And this one kid, he came to my house. I told the story before, but I'm going to tell it real quick because it's funny. He came to my house, and the kid was like, yo, and that's one thing about me too. I be trying to help little kids out, because he hit a chord for me. This kid hit a chord for me because he reminded me of me when I was little. He came to me with a broken Xbox 360, and he asked me, could I fix it? And I told him, yeah, I'm going to fix it. Now, it was $40 to fix the red ring of death. That's how much I was charging. Everybody was charging different prices, but I made sure whatever the lowest price is, that's what I charged. Because remember, I'm in a not so good neighborhood. I can't be charging $60 and you come into the hood. You get what I'm saying? So I was living in Queens, but I was doing the repairs in Brooklyn. I wasn't bringing niggas to the spot I had in Queens. That was like never happening. You're not coming to where I sleep at. So they was coming to the spot. I was doing it, and this kid hit me up. I didn't know it was a kid till he got to the house. He says, hey, can you repair my Xbox? Sure, bring it over. So he's like, oh, can I bring it and leave it? Normally, I don't let the people leave their console, because you can't trust people to leave their console, because then they'll come back and say, you know, something different. You changed the console around, yada, yada. But as a kid, so I was like, nah, leave it and I'll fix it, because I don't want no kid in my house while I'm, you know, that shit's weird. So when the kid came, he was 12. I'm like, yeah, just leave it, because I don't want to be alone with no kid. I'm sorry, I'm weird like that. Like, nah, you ain't my son. I don't want no one saying nothing. Nah, that shit just seems strange, because people already thought I was selling drugs and all kinds of shit. So a kid coming to my house with a book bag and then leaving with a bag and all, it just looked weird. So I was like, yo, just leave the console and come back in an hour. So he was like, all right. So he left the Xbox. Yo, I take the Xbox out the bag and I open the Xbox, and the first thing I noticed about the Xbox is, yo, he had books inside of it. It was empty. It's like a Xbox 360 shell, and he had like a book in there, and there was nothing inside. And right away, I knew what was going on. I said, oh man, this kid about to zone me. He about to finesse me and say some shit about this Xbox. So I immediately get on the phone and start calling him. I'm like, yo, come back, come back, come back, come back. You left me a fucked up Xbox. I can't fix it. He ain't have the power brick, none of that shit in the bag. So I knew he was about to line me up. So I said, damn, yo, he about to do some bullshit. So I'm calling. About 30 minutes go by, I get a call back from the same number. It's some older dude now. He like, yo, what's up? What's up? I'm like, yo, I'm calling to try and give this Xbox 360 back. I can't fix it. Immediately, yo, what you mean you can't fix it? You better fix that shit, or I'm coming in, I'm fucking you up. I'm lighting your house up. Yada, yada, yada. All this gangster shit dude was talking to me. So I said, oh, man, I knew it. I knew we was going to go to this whole bullshit. So I was like, all right, All right, I hung up the phone. So now I got to get ready for a dude who's saying he gonna come to my house and shoot me. Now think about it. If you repairing consoles and you got to deal with disgruntled people, what you think I got with me? Like, think about it. Like, this is what I mean about never judge a book by its cover too. You're not gonna come to my house and put hands on me and not get your ass killed, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. So I'm like, please don't come and violate where my family's at, because if you do that, shit gonna go all the way left. Plus, not to mention, I'm the dude in my family that's not trying to do nothing. That's completely different from my family. My folks is not like that. They gonna kill you. So I'm like, oh boy, now he on some tough shit and he know he's scamming. So I ain't say nothing. So I was like, all right. So I'm expecting the dude to come back through on some rah-rah shit. So boom, he comes. Now 30 minutes go by. Yo, I'm outside. Bring me a working Xbox. I come open the door. Big dude, big Jamaican cat, rough dude. Had the accent and everything. Off and on with the accent. Yo, where's my console? Yada, yada, yada. I say, yo, listen, man, I got a problem. The little man brought me the console and it was books inside of it. Was nothing in it. He's like, I don't want to hear that shit. I need a working Xbox or I'm about to tear this shit up. I'm about to shoot this shit up. I'm like, that's your word? He was like, yeah, that's my word. I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, all right. So I go back in the crib. I bring him the Xbox. The same one he gave me. Give him the bat. He's like, yo, I'm going to tell you right now, if this thing is not working when I get home, I'm coming black. And he read my address. He said, I'm tearing this house up. I'm airing your house out. I was like, all right, no doubt, man, no doubt. So he goes, he walks away. I jump in my truck. I drive to Atlantic Avenue where I saw him go. And that's when I hop out because I'm away from my house. I hop out and I back the dude down. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? You know the dude gave me a fucked up Xbox, yada, yada, yada. Why y'all out here scamming like this and carrying on like that? Da, 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 da. You know what time it is. You know what he did. And he's like, oh, yeah, you think you scaring me? And he lifts up his shirt. I swear on my mother. He lifts up his shirt because I guess he know I was going to flame his ass. He lifts up his shirt and he got like all these wounds, like all over his body. And I'm looking like, what the fuck is that? He's like, I've been shot and stabbed plenty of times. That shit don't scare me. You gonna have to kill me. I said, yo, we doing all this over fucking Xbox. So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. I put gas in my truck. I go back to my house. I start talking to my nephew, let him know about what had happened, to be on the lookout for this guy, da-da-da-da. Sure enough, I get a call. Yo, this is not the Xbox, da-da-da. I was like, yo, listen, man, listen. Put the kid on the phone. He put the kid on the phone. I asked the kid, I said, yo, is this Xbox for this dude or is this Xbox for you? He's like, the Xbox is for me. I was like, tell me the truth. What happened? Why are y'all trying to lie about the Xbox? I said, because what's going to happen is you're going to get this guy hurt when he come to my house. So the kid told me his Xbox messed up, da-da-da-da-da. I said, so who put books inside of the console and took the shit out of the inside? I said, if you put the console back together the way it was supposed to be and bring it to me, I'm going to fix it for you. I said, but your uncle, because the guy was his uncle. I said, but your uncle, he come over here talking that crazy shit, he going to get it. I said, so I'm going to help you out because you're a kid, and I don't want you out here caught up in this type of shit. Bring me the Xbox the way it was intended to be, and I'm going to fix it for you. So he comes with his uncle. They come. I fix the Xbox. Make sure it's working, red ring, everything. I took a good extra Xbox I had laying around in my closet, took the guts out of that and put it in his Xbox. So I know he would have an Xbox that wasn't working. Because if you fix a red ring Xbox, if you don't have the right thermal paste with lead in it, the red ring is going to come back. A lot of people are fixing and they won't tell you that. But of course, me being a person that know, I had the right lead. I had the right thermal paste because the CPU thermal paste would actually dissipate. And that's what causes the red ring. So if you got lead, the thermal paste takes a lot longer to dissipate. So it takes years for the red ring to come back. So I had the right thermal paste. So I just gave him a working Xbox that I know had the right thermal paste in it from Microsoft. Because Microsoft is the only one that could get the lead-based thermal paint. I was able to get my hands on it, of course, because I'm a fucking, you know, I'm like a modern-day pirate. But I was able to get it. Bottom line, I fixed it for him. Now, I swear to God, like 2 months later, I go to a supermarket to go get some food. And I'm paying for my food. And guess who comes walking up to me? God comes walking up to me. Yo, pay for my shit. It's the same dude. So I'm like, yo, what you mean pay for your shit? He was like, yo, pay for my shit. He was like, I'm waiting. I was like, I was like, oh, word? That's your word? Now he must think I'm pussy. So I was like, that's your word? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, all right, I got you. So I walk out. I go to get in my car. He goes and runs in the house across the street to grab something. I guess he's going to try to rob me. So he comes back out, and I just looked at him. I nodded my head. I said, oh, that's where you live at? He was like, yeah, wow. I said, good, because I'm going to show you what time it is now. So I got on the phone. I called up my boys. I said, yo, do me a favor. Come to this address right now. I need to handle something. My boys come. Boom, what's up? Because he was right across the street from Albany Projects. Right across the street from Albany Projects. I had mad of my friends at Albany Projects. So I was like, yo, come outside. I need y'all to handle something for me. I got a problem with this dude over here. Niggas know if I call him and tell him that, it's a problem because I don't start no trouble. So if I get on the phone and call somebody and say, yo, pull up, they pulling up, no questions, because they know I'm not the kind of cat to start trouble. So you know if I say pull up, somebody got to get it. So they pull up, whatever. So I go to the house and I start ringing the bell. Now I'm mad bold. I'm like, yo, come outside. He was like, what's up? I was like, what's the shit you was talking about? You gonna do this and you gonna do that? Yeah, well, you know, now all of a sudden, you know, he got explanations. I'm like, yeah, I know, man, I know. I was like, yo, just do me a favor, man. Walk down the block with them because I don't want them to do this shit to you in front of your house. He's like, for real? I was like, for real. I was like, yo, it's going to happen to you in your crib or you going to walk down the street with them niggas. I was like, you ain't going to talk all this shit. I gave you an Xbox and think you going to extort me in the store, my nigga? I was like, yo, it's up to you. You want to do it in here or you want to walk down the street? He walked down the street and got washed up. And that was his fault. That was his fault. Never judge a book by its cover. I did you a favor and you turn around and carry on like that? Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. So that's why I said, like, never judge a book by its cover. Just because I'm a nerd and all that, you don't know my past. You don't know who I know. You don't know what's going on. That's why I treat people how you want to be treated. Because you never know. You never know who's who know what. I know a lot of fucking people because I do a lot of fucking things. And he didn't know. I was able to make that call in 5 minutes and have people on that boy's neck like that. That's how that should be. Anyway, though, y'all hope y'all enjoyed the stream. I got to hurry up and run and get out of here. Y'all be good, man. Peace.